Hey guys, it's Noel Payne here. I'm the guy behind Talking Race Walking. I have an account. I have a couple social media accounts for Canadian Race Walking. So on Instagram, we're Canadian Race Walking. I'm on Twitter at Canadian Race Walking, and then there's a private Facebook group for Canadian Race Walkers. So I'm here. It's kind of like an extended version of that short that I did on the YouTube channel. This one's about how do you find good race walking books? Like, what do you do when you're looking for information? YouTube, like this channel, is an amazing place for videos, instructional videos. You've got folks like Jeff Salvage, Dave McGovern, Carmen Jakinski, Ian Watley. All those folks are putting out some really cool stuff, and they have great websites as well. www.racewalk.com, racewalking.org. There's a lot of cool stuff out there. But if you're someone that really does kind of like flipping through some pages to have something to read, which can really complement some of those videos where you can actually see people race walking, I've got some good books to get you started. Now, I am biased. I found a lot of stuff, and I wrote a book myself about race walking. So it's my experiences, what I learned, and then I went out and talked to other race walkers, and I profiled them, got me to give some advice, tips and everything like that, and tried to cram as much as I could in for that person who's really starting out. Where do you go? What are the videos? What are the books? Where are the clubs? Just about race walking, and I'm mainly focused on Canada and the US. But there is information there that would be really helpful for everybody. So there's my book. It's actually one of the earlier drafts. So it's Learning to Race Walk. Um, it's got a lot of cool stuff in it. So I tried to put a lot of cool information in there. This is the basics. So a lot of cool profiles about shoes, but it doesn't go in depth about training or anything, but it touches on everything and it kind of gets you started. So I hope you'll enjoy that. You can find that on Amazon. So it's Learning to Race Walk, and use my name, Noel Payne, Paine, and you should be able to find it. So it's kind of like print on demand, but it's there for you. Now, what other books are out there? I mentioned those names like Dave McGovern, and he's got some good books out, and I've got a couple of them. So, The Complete Guide to Race Walking. Okay, so this is a great book. Dave McGovern. So, this is one that really goes into all the essentials of once you've kind of learned what race walking is, once you started doing it. This is like the next book to grab because it really goes into some of the training, the stretching, the strengthening exercise, goes more in depth about the technique, what to do and what not to do, and then it goes into how you should train and everything else. So a really good resource. Okay, I love that one. Now I've got another one. If you like race walking, but you're also interested in like maybe power walking, what's Nordic walking, you want a whole bunch of information, you're even looking for more history of the sport, which is super interesting. And if you like super interesting stories and you like race walking, listen to my podcast about pedestrianism. Great podcast, and the history of race walking going back to the mid 1800s is super cool. So, sorry. So, getting back again, Dave's got another book out. It's a monster one. Okay, so it's the complete guide to walking. So competitive walking. It's thick. There we are. Okay, and it's a large book, but I mean, it has everything in here. It's crazy. So it's got, power walking, race walking, Nordic walking. It's got a lot of history. It's got just as much as the other book he wrote and more. And then he has some sample programs in here as well for different athletes and training for different things. So that is a solid Bible of competitive walking. Really cool book. Really appreciate having it on my bookshelf. So that's, once again, those are two books from Dave McGovern. Now I've got one book here from Jeff Salvage, and I wish I had another one, but this is one from him, and he also writes and has a website. But this book is super cool if you're kind of a little bit geeky like myself. So this is Looking at the Best, and it's by Jeff Salvage and Tim Seaman. Tim's probably one of the best U.S. race walkers that's been walked for a long time and really well, lots of titles, and he married a Canadian, so Rachel Seaman and Tim Seaman. So it's so she's down the States now, but she was a really amazing race walker here, and Olympian. So, but this book is super cool. If you see, it goes into super detail. Jeff has been getting photos and video of race walkers for years now and analyzing every portion of their technique, from push off, the angles, the arms, everything. And he goes through some of the top race walkers at the time when he's making the book and analyzes them all. It's really cool, and it actually helps visualize too the different aspects or different sort of phases of race walking. You can see it on video, but Jeff, like I say, he's got it all slowed down so you can see every phase. It's a super cool book. Little more for the geeky folks amongst us, but it is very, very cool. And I do have a couple other books here that I'm going to throw to you just because they're super cool, and I managed to get hold of them thanks to the coach that kind of helps me out with technique and everything, Stafford Wayland here in Ontario. He's out in Toronto area. Super cool guy. He has been coaching for a long time. His wife, Lily Stafford, was a national caliber race walker as a master, and amazing people. And he left me with some cool books. I don't know if you'll find them. So these are just kind of treasures. So Martin Ruddow from the United States. I think this one is, I think it's in the 70s or 80s. Let me just double check the date here. We've got 1987. So this is kind of cool too, because it's just on the cusp as things were changing in the race walking world too, technique-wise and everything. So that's a cool read. It's kind of neat to see how things have changed and progressed. And then I've got another one here, and this is, I think this is the 60s. I think first published 1960, 61-ish. And there we go, Race Walking. And this is definitely the heel to toe. This is definitely maintaining contact era. And it's more pamphlet than anything. Black and white photos, but super cool. There we go. If you can find that, that's kind of a neat find as well. And the third one I've got in my collection now. And I do have one other one, but I guess I haven't grabbed it. And it's online as well. It's going back to the pedestrian era. And I will try and bring that one out and talk about it perhaps on another quick video. But this one is cool. It's Race Walking by Harold Whitlock. Okay, so it's not very thick, but it is pretty cool. It's sponsored by Ovaltine, the book. But you can see very old school stuff here. It goes into sort of the technique at the time and talking about, bad and good form. Another pretty cool book. So if you find that one out there, it's kind of a neat grab as well. So there you go. You've got a few books to choose from. Mine, you've got Dave McGovern, Jeff Salvage, and a couple older ones. And I'll get back with the other one that I forgot I had and talk about that one, because that kind of goes along with some of the history of race walking, which is really cool. So I hope that helps you out. Comment or send me questions if you missed something. I'll try and put links in the description of the video to some of these books. And I hope you enjoy reading. And please jump on the playlist that I have here at Talking Race Walking and go check out some of the videos as well, which will help fit everything together. Once you've read the text, seeing race walking in action really can help you learn and improve your technique. I'm no expert, and I'm always trying to improve my technique and have fun with it. So happy walking, take care, and have fun out there.